Welcome back to the shop today. This is Randy again. Today we're working on the Oldsmobile motor. I'm going to put the crank in the block and get the pistons and connecting rods assembled. But first what I got to do, being I'm using a rope rear main seal, let me cut this open so you can see what that looks like here. This is the rope rear main seal. It fits down in the rear bearing cap groove here. Fits down in this groove, and there's a tool that they sell for making sure that that's packed in there good. I got an Oldsmobile book here. It's this tool right here. It's a J25285. I thought I had one. I have one, but it's actually for a Buick. So first things first today, first order of agenda is I'm going to make that tool so that you get the new rear seal packed in the block good and in the bearing cap, otherwise it'll leak. And I realize that they sell neoprene type rear main seals, but when I worked at the dealer, well, this is all we ever used, and very seldom did you have problems with them leaking. The only reason they would leak is sometimes on the older cars the seal would actually start deteriorating, and then what you did is you took a piece of new seal, and there was a tool that you bolted to the block, and you actually packed new seal up in there and put a new lower in and put it back together, and it worked fine. The other reason I'm going to use this is because the rear of the crankshaft has got knurling on it. The rear of this crankshaft, where your seal surface is, has knurling on it. So if you put a neoprene seal on there, you've got a 50-50 chance of it not leaking. So in my experience anyway. So I just soon put a rope rear main seal in, and you won't have any problems. All right, I got a piece of material chucked up in the lathe here. First, what I'm going to do is face it off, and then the first portion of the diameter here, the rear seal surface on the crankshaft is 3" 150. So I'm going to turn this down to 3" 125, and then I'm going to flip it around and face this side here to actually fit the housing bore of the block. All right, here we go. All right, now I'm gonna touch off here on the outside. Put the 20,000th pass across there, and then we'll measure it, see what size it is. Let me grab a micrometer here. It is 2-inch, 226.5. 3-inch, 3-inch, 226.5. All right, got to turn this portion down of it down to 3 1/8. Broke the tip of my carbide. Okay, be right back. Try this again. Get another measurement here, see. Three-inch, 164. All right. 3 thousandths to go. Okay, just double check our size here, see where we're at. Right on the money, 3-inch, 125. All right, now I'm gonna flip this around and we're gonna turn this down to 3-inch, 188. And that's the housing bore size of the block. All right, let's see how much more we got to take off here. We got to take 14,000. Measure it again. We're at 3-inch 193. So I'll dial in those other the other 3,000s here, and should be good. Here we go. See how we did here. Half a thou under. So I'm going to chamfer this edge here, flip it around, and chamfer the other two edges, and this part will be done. Okay. I got the rear bearing cap in the vise here, and I've taken a dead blow hammer and I've tapped this down, and you can see how nice that packs that in there, just like that. And then what you can do is you use this tool, you leave this in there like so, and then you take a razor knife and you cut the seal off flush with the cap. I got a razor knife here, and just put a fresh razor blade in it here. Just like that there, and that's cut off flush with the block. I'm going to do the other side, and then I'm going to put the other part in the block, and I'll be back. Alright, our main seal's all installed. You can see how nice that you can cut that off with it with that tool installed. It's just above flush, and when you put the rear bearing cap on, you put a little bit of silicone from here to the corner on each side, and you'll be good. All right, I'll be back. All right, now we're gonna start putting some lube on these bearings here. This is a mixture of Lucas engine oil stabilizer and 10W30 motor oil. And just take your finger and lightly rub a little bit of oil on that seal. The seals come impregnated with graphite, but that'll just help the seal from burning up. Let me go grab the crank here, be right back. Just like that. All right. I'm going to get the lower half of the bearing shell put in the main caps, and we'll start putting the main caps on. snug them in place. All right, go to the next one. Put some oil in your bearing journal here. Set that on there. Put ARP lube on the main bolts. Okay. All right, before you put your rear bearing cap on, you want to put a little bead of silicone between about the middle of the seal to the outer edge. Just like that there. And you'll be good to go. I'll get this cap on. Well, this is Randy back in the shop today. Making some progress on the Oldsmobile 455. Ran into a snag. Was putting pistons in the block, and the big end of the connecting rod, when it came around, was hitting the inside edge closest to the cam of the cylinder wall. It was only on one bank, like there was a little bit of core shift or whatever. So I was filming, putting the pistons and rods in, and I got frustrated, shut the camera off, sat here for a little bit trying to figure out what I was going to do, and pulled the thing all back apart. Taped everything off best I could, and had a friend come over with a shop vac running. I clearanced that portion of the bore on each side. Even though one side was hitting, I figured I'd give the other side a little touch up because it was really close. And rewashed everything, rewashed the block, rewashed the crank, all the connecting rods and pistons and all that stuff, rewashed everything, and put it back together. So it was a late night last night. I'll swing over to the motor and you can take a look. Well, here it is, all assembled. All the cranks in it, rods and pistons, rings, all that sort of thing. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but right down in here is where it was hitting, only on one side. And so that was the name of that tune. Pulled it all back apart, like I said, rewashed everything, and proceeded to put it back together. So this part is done now. I got to put the timing chain on the front yet, and I'm gonna redegree it, and we can start moving forward from here instead of one step forward, 3 steps backwards. But sometimes that's the way it goes. So anyway, that's the update on the Oldsmobile motor. Just one of those things that happens when you're building the motor. You run into an unexpected deal. So hope everybody's having a good day, and we'll catch you in the next one. The next part will be probably getting the pan put on, and lifters in the block, priming it and that kind of thing. So we'll see ya.